Thanks to everyone who joined in my live yesterday. It was really nice to hear some encouraging words from the true supporters of my channel, not the ones that pretend to support and then beat me up because I express concerns. I don't know. It's just a weird thing that's happening. I'm going to focus on the good people that really truly support me, and I want to thank you so much for being there for me because I really do need it. It's amazing the hate people can give, but the love outweighs the hate. That's what I love. That's what I love. So today we are going to be talking about the king and how he is going to be putting some steps in place to keep Harry and Meghan at bay because he can see finally what Meghan is doing. This is more Meghan than Harry. And also, the titles. It looks like he's hesitant. That big conversation that he had with the king with William about the titles. They don't think that they can go that way and remove the titles because it's going to create some problems. We'll talk about it. But yeah, I get it. But at least the good thing is that the king is starting to find ways to be proactive, to change things up a little bit and put a stop to the nonsense of Meghan because she's going to keep trying. She's a very tenacious girl. She's going to try to do whatever she can. And there are the Americans, there are the people that want to support her, but slowly, maybe they're starting to see it or maybe not. It's just a weird thing that is happening. But I think the speaking out, the constant stop, hold up, wait a minute, don't go there is really getting Meghan to see that she's just not going to have a chance. And the fall of this woman is going to be one of those things where you just rave about the accomplishment of getting Meghan smacked down from all of the nonsense that she is trying, because the girl is special in a very special way that I think a lot of people just don't really take seriously. But she's somebody that wants to get what she wants to get by any means necessary. So we're going to be talking about the king and what he's going to have to do to stop Harry and Meghan from what they're trying to do. And I mentioned what Meghan is trying to do in my live, and the king is going to put a stop to it. And that's what we're going to talk about. Let's get into it. Otis is tired today. It's a rainy day here. It's a rainy, dreary day. But I kind of like rainy days. Kind of think I'm more aligned with the weather in the UK. Not the sunny, hot Florida weather that I used to live in, because the hot weather is just not fun to me. I like being inside, and when it's rainy outside, you're forced to be inside. That's what I like. First Lady of Nigeria, apparently there is this news that's come out to say she wasn't trying to diss Meghan.
The message here is we have to salvage our children. We see the way they dress. They keep forgetting that Nigeria, we are beautiful. The moment you can see what they showcase on the stage, I said we are fashionable. We see what is going on. We are not having a Met Gala, and everyone, their nakedness is just everywhere. And the men are well clothed. So we have to do something. Tell them the way it is. We don't accept nakedness in our culture. That is not beautiful. It's not beautiful at all. And they're all beautiful girls. But they should be confident to know they are. They don't want to be like, even they are mimicking and trying to emulate film stars from America. They don't know where they come from. Why did Meghan come here looking for Africa? That is something we have to take home with. We know who we are, and don't lose who you are. God bless you.
First Lady of Nigeria. Don't try to make us believe this stupid nonsense, okay? She meant Meghan appreciates the people we are, and hence her coming here. That's a lie. That is a lie. And then she goes on to say, via this AFP fact check email that came out on the 31st of May, quote, At no point did she say anything about Meghan's dressing. This was what they're saying that the First Lady did not say. Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
These clarifications of the First Lady's remarks they're saying are misinterpreted as criticism, but Meghan's attire was not criticized by the First Lady, apparently, is what they're trying to tell us. And all I have to say is this woman was not speaking Chinese. We did not need an interpretation of what she said. We heard her words. But the most important thing to understand here is that Meghan is very tenacious. She is doing things behind the scenes that we don't know about. She's getting people to fall in line with her narrative, and she's very dangerous. And I just have to say that we do not need things interpreted for us. We understand the kind of person that Meghan is, and it's really sad to see that the First Lady had to walk back her words. And we just must understand that we are never going to allow Meghan to try to pull the wool over our eyes by statements that were said by people who clearly know what they said. This is beyond offensive to think that we need to have these words clarified for us.
So this is what's happening. So King Charles takes steps to prevent Harry and Meghan from visiting Commonwealth countries, because we all know they went to visit Nigeria. Then there's talks of them going to visit in Ghana. Now, King Charles is reportedly taking steps to prevent Harry and Meghan from visiting Commonwealth countries in the future. This is coming from royal author Tom Quinn. Harry and Meghan recently concluded a 3-day tour of Nigeria where they promoted the Invictus Games and met with key figures. However, their trip allegedly angered the monarch, who is now working to stop any similar things like that from happening again in the future. And when I look at that and I think about the king and what he is doing with his work in the monarchy and, you know, all the things that he has to deal with, it's like the last thing you want to deal with is your daughter-in-law going around trying to sabotage your work, trying to overtake you, trying to do things to supersede your decision making. And when people put it into perspective, and when they look at it like that, they really should see the outrage rather than the support. Because I always said, if Meghan were doing these things in your family, how would you feel? If Meghan Markle were in your family, married into your family, and you're the head of your family, and she was trying to go meet with people that you already have a relationship with, she's trying to now go meet with these same people to supersede your relationship with these people, trying to make it seem like you should support her rather than you as the head of your family, how would that make you feel? So you can only look at this in a way that is really objectionable by looking at how Meghan is doing the same thing and how you would feel about her doing these things in your family. You wouldn't go for it. And I know people that are very pro-family, these should not be the people that are supporting Meghan. Because if you were, or if you are this type of person, you would put this in your own context of your life and family to know that's just not right. So according to the Mirror, Quinn suggested that the king is in a terrible bind, as he would love to strip Harry and Meghan of their royal titles, but fears it would appear vindictive. And we know that we have very ignorant people that will look at what the king would do and look at it as racist, because there's just a lot of ignorant people that just don't know how to think. That don't know how to think and look at what is happening from a perspective. How would you feel? They want to resort to it being racist. And keep that in mind, because I've been having some really good discussions with my husband, and I'm thinking about doing a segment with a lot of these people that want to cry racism, but when the reality is it's your behavior, trying to pull some of these stories in context with what Meghan is doing and show you how widespread it is. Because what Meghan is doing with trying to call racism and, you know, trying to get people to see she's done nothing wrong and people are just clearly being racist towards her, this is a very widespread problem amongst people of color and people who want to just be the victim constantly. It's astounding to me that people don't know how to take responsibility for their behavior and their actions. And this is how, you know, you have to look at people that don't want to take responsibility for their actions as the downfall of our society. Yeah, it's like, take responsibility, folks, for your actions. The king is in a terrible bind. Like, what is he going to do? What is he going to do? Because you got just people that just don't know how to think. And he fears that it would be vindictive, that he would be looked at as being, I think, also a racist for that matter. So instead, the king's number one priority has become finding a way to put a stop to all of these future trips by Harry and Meghan to these other Commonwealth countries. That's the one thing that I think he can do that would be more aligned with people seeing him doing something that is more geared towards protecting the integrity of the monarchy and not just allowing these wackadoos to come in to the Commonwealth country and pretend like she is some kind of queen and savior of the people in the Commonwealth. We just can't have this, because she's going to do it. She's desperate to do it. So he also goes on to say that King Charles might resort to using back channels to try and block any further invitations to the wayward couple, although he admitted that this would prove to be very difficult. Quinn also explained why the monarch might be unnerved by Harry and Meghan's visit to Nigeria, stating the ultimate fear is that Meghan's rebelliousness could end up making her seem more appealing to people than the understated members of the official royal team. And that's the kind of thing that the king has to do. He has to be making some phone calls. He's got to the king has got to get on the phone and be like, hey, look, you know what? If Harry and Meghan come trying to, let me get the defense minister on the phone right now. Let me speak to him. I want to speak to the prime minister. I want to speak to all the people in charge. Don't you invite those wackadoos. Don't you invite them into your country, because we're not going for it over here in the United Kingdom. We're not going to allow it. So that the king needs to be on the phone doing this like ASAP. Get them on the phone and start making some deals, because you know Meghan is already going to try to do it. And that's what is so just appalling to me. This woman will not stop.